Yeah, it's your boy Ray on the mic. Let's go.
Mic check, mic check. Welcome to On the Mic with Ray White, where we share life lessons, encourage self reflection, and equip you to take action. My name is Ray White, and I am juiced that you're taking time to listen to this episode today. And can you believe it? 2020 is here, y'all. We made it. We made it. 2023, we made it. And I am pondering on many different aspects that our organizational leaders will be experiencing in trying to create culture change within their teams. Since that is the environment that I'm heavily involved in, being a leader and creating culture change, helping leaders navigate the dynamics that are centered on their teams, engagement relationships, identities, cultures, things of that nature, and create inclusive communities where every identity belongs and thrives. I'm looking ahead to see what has 2023, what is for us in 2023 as leaders of culture change, and how do we step into that with a little bit more proactiveness so that way we can create this space where every identity belongs and thrives. And I got three for y'all. I'm gonna keep it brief. Some of the things that we should be thinking through a little bit when it comes to our leadership within the cultural leadership within the organizations, and we'll want you all to be ready, stay ready. So you ain't got to get ready. All right. So the three things that I am predicting are going to happen within 2023 as leaders of culture change that I want y'all to grasp as well. The first one being that we're moving from DE&I statements to DE&I actions. Now, this one's not new, right? This one ain't a new thought process topic or what have you, because 2022 have been the spaces where people are looking for receipts. They're looking for receipts of the DE&I philosophy, diversity, equity, inclusion philosophies, the goals, the commitments that were created back in the day in 2020. We're not even going to talk about 1960s, but 2020, when folks were excited to step into this DE&I space and recommit themselves to equity, racial equity, social equity within our institutions. And it kind of seemed like it died down a little bit. And I feel in my engagement and talking to leaders and seeing what's happening on social media and LinkedIn, Instagram, and other entities who are looking for more of that type of engagement, leaders are recommitting themselves to DE&I practices and initiatives and efforts, and literally ripping off the statements on the walls and saying, critically, how are we living up to this philosophy, and where does it show up in our values and actions? And what I predict in 2023, there's going to be a lot more of that critical analysis of us as leaders, whatever position you hold within an institution, truly taking a hard look at some of the commitments or philosophies that you stated within your institution 1, 2, 3 years ago, and revisiting those things to see if you are still on track or what could you do to tweak that to stay on track. So my prediction for 2023, there's going to be less of us talking about it when it comes to DE&I and the practices that we can do, and more of us doing it through strategies, initiatives, tactics, reflections, and creating spaces where that is becoming the norm and a part of the fabric of our institutions. The second thing that I'm predicting that's going to happen in 2023 for us organizational leaders is that we're going to create more brave spaces for growth and development. Courageous conversations, crucial conversations, topics that are discussing race, inequity, injustice that are happening in the world, but more particularly in our institutions, is going to become the norm for us in 2023, because we have staff members, leaders, people who we are working with, those who we are serving, who are impacted by the social inequities that are part of our communities and within our world. And it will be a detriment to us and our leadership if we do not bring up those types of conversations within the spaces of our workspaces, because we can't compartmentalize that. I can't compartmentalize my identity as a Black man in any space. And those who are experiencing the most trauma, within our communities will not be able to compartmentalize that when they clock in to the workspace. So for us as leaders who are creating culture change, who want to really truly drive organizational change in our leadership, we have to be able to be confident in creating those spaces where we can facilitate those types of discussions. We can acknowledge people's humanity, create empathy to understand what they're going through, and have spaces where we can talk about as a organization or in our leadership, what could we do to help alleviate or to help solve some of those social inequities that we see in our institutions or within our communities, and be partners when it comes to that type of work. So we won't be able to understand that if we do not have the conversations and create those brave spaces to step in, to grow, to develop our conscious understanding of ourselves and those around us and the systems that we're a part of, and create those spaces where we can learn to grow into that kind of space. So we're seeing the receipts, we're creating spaces to talk about the things. Those are two different things that I see are predictors for what is to come in 2023. And then the third thing that we as organizational leaders need to prepare for is more collaboration with our community partners to build the coalition and to build and to work together to create shared ownership with activism within our community. So the third thing that I see happening in 2023 is a great collaboration, a partnership with community partners in our community to share ownership and driving social change. Not only are the institutions that we're a part of and the teams that we lead, majority of them live in the communities that they work in, right? And yes, we're in a remote world and we could be anywhere in the world working for an organization anywhere else in the world, but primarily there are going to be some folks who are living in the communities that they're working in. So like for me in the city of Salem, a lot of the folks that work in my organization in Salem, Oregon, also live in Salem, Oregon, or surrounding cities of Salem, Oregon. So what does it look like for us to build strong relationships with the other social entities in our community? What does it look like to partner with the initiatives that are driving about social change, to volunteer, to provide funding support, to raise awareness when it comes to the work that they are doing, and show that, hey, as an institution, we are wanting to bring a level of awareness to the type of work that is happening here and help drive some of the culture changing work that they're doing, and use our resources and leverage our privilege and leverage our power to help influence that type of work. So as an organizational leader, being in tune with what is happening in your community or what your staff members are a part of in the community. And again, back to point number 2 of creating spaces where we can have dialogue to talk about those types of things, and then take our activism from a performative sense to a legit sense, right? I don't know what the opposite of performative is at this time, but essentially not necessarily saying, we're going to talk about it, we're actually doing about it. So 2023 is definitely going to be a year of action, of keep moving into the phases of activism when it comes to our level of leadership and ways to help reduce the inequities that we see around us. And we have to make sure that our philosophies can transition to actions, that we create brave spaces where folks could talk through some of the things that they're experiencing, and create a belonging culture within our teams to talk through some of the inequities that they see or are experiencing and how they want to serve it, and then be able to partner with other opportunities, other initiatives in our community to solve those social inequities and be a helping hand to help our communities as a whole become stronger in that way. Now, I say these are predictors because these are things I'm doing. I'm manifesting. Y'all know about this manifesting stage. You know what I'm saying? Everybody manifests everything. Well, I'm going to manifest this as a part of my leadership, as a part of my engagement, as a part of my commitment to help be a culture change agent within my community. And I want to challenge you all to adopt these similar characteristics or these similar initiatives when it comes to the way that you can show up within your community in 2023, and not let these things be just predictors, but action items for us to take hold on and tremendously do to create a belonging culture and community in every space. So I am going to be looking to do these things. And I know these are just 3 points that I give it today, but there's like 20 million others that I plan on doing as well. But I just want to encourage you all to say that these are things that you could do too. These are things that can be done as well. If you are in a position to say yes to doing these things, to build your awareness of how these social inequities and racial and anti and oppressive inequities are impacting you, the people around you, and the work that you're doing, and wanting to partner and collaborate with other people to solve those different types of things and create a better community culture environment where every identity belongs and thrives. So I would love to hear from you all of what are some of the things that you predict would happen in 2023 when it comes to your leadership in the organization, in the community as well, to create this kind of culture change. And as you hear mine as well, what resonates with you? What are ways that we can flesh out specifically some of the initiatives that I said that I'm set out to do and working to do? And what can we do to partner on those types of things? Get at me at Ray Devante on all social media platforms. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can also drop a comment as well, because I would love to hear some of your perspectives on some of the predictors that I've given, and would love to hear your predictions as a organizational leader leading culture change within your teams and in your community. What are the things that you're seeing that we need to pay attention to and incorporate that into our lens for having a great 2023 for all of our identities to belong and thrive? Because it takes all of us. It takes all of us to do this well. It takes all of us to be able to step into this and accept the call and create a better city, better workplace, better teams to feel like they have a space in our environment. So, thank you for listening to the predictions that I have for 2023. I know it's kind of silly and a little facetious, but anyway, this is what I'm thinking about. But I'd love to hear from you all as well. Ray Devante on all social media platforms. Continue to share your story with others. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.